Let me pull my poem out. Alright, so before I give this poem, I'm going to give a much longer disclaimer than I have ever allowed people to do, but I started this thing. Alright, so have any of you guys seen that picture that was going around of the lady in the gray tights, or the sweatpants, with something like a deformity of like a tail or a scrunched up diaper?
Yeah.
It went viral? Yeah, okay, the thing had like 12,000 shares. And it was put on by 105.1 in Atlanta, in which I reported to Facebook and sent them an email. And then, after looking through 1,000 comments of inappropriate, petty cruelty, I decided to say that I will be the first one to speak up in that comment thread. Because our society has become so damn judgmental that it makes me sick. That because they can hide behind a screen and they can see a picture of something that they could never imagine that somebody has to deal with and live with. And then they can justify and rationalize that their cruelty and their judgment is okay because that person shouldn't have worn those pants. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, the logic there is absolutely illogical. It is not logic, and it just blows my mind. And I just gave everyone a piece of my mind, which turned into the top comment, and eventually, after a couple days, was removed by 105.1. Yeah, because I don't think it was necessarily because of me, but I think after that, I started seeing more comments about how inappropriate everyone's actions were. But it was amazing how, like, when you stand up, how people attack you. Oh, I'm sorry that you feel convicted. Don't come at me. You don't need to convince me why you think it's okay to judge somebody and treat somebody with that kind of cruelty, because it was so distinctive that if that person even saw that and saw the 3,000 comments that were left on that picture, man, like, are you kidding? Talk about a life needing to be saved. So I wrote a poem a long time ago that I never felt was done, but I really loved. And I revisited this poem based upon the inspiration that I got from that. And it's called The Vintage of Humanity. I think we can do better. I think we can restore the vintage from this wreckage unless you like what you see. Unless you choose to look past it, unwilling to recognize the devastation in front of you. The truth is, humanity faces its toughest adversary. Incapable of recognizing its own reflection, the darkness of itself blurs into an unrecognizable silhouette identified as a threat. Like multiple sclerosis cells, we've turned on ourselves. Taken aside from white light, this blood count is too high. We need compassion and empathy. It's nauseating to see the intolerance and judgment like the poison of chemotherapy. Overwhelmed. I'm trying to look at new skies. Because the stars sparkle in greater company at 30,000 feet, where the only clouds in sight are light years away between galaxies. My stargazing escape serves as meditation to instill calmness of mind, so I can search for wisdom from the eagle-eye sight of our ancestors. For me, the Milky Way electrifies contemplation about how often beauty or pain escapes my view. Like the corneal filtration of what I allow to enter my mind, and I don't want to live blind anymore. I don't want to ignore the pain endlessly gnawing at my conscience. I no longer want to believe my dented fender is freshly painted and smooth. No longer in a coma, I've awoken from this negligent accident, and I have questions about what's happened along the path from then to now. I'm wondering when honor was steamrolled into our highways over native lands. When the cellular level of our integrity fell to the plague of viral greed, poorly manufactured for wholesale upon a financial industry. When prescription pills influenced blame, as he fingered out responsibility as the culprit, while logic was thrown out of our judicial system for disorderly conduct. Or how about when social media lifelined faceless relationships spawning generations who hide behind a screen, where fingertips spew the hatred that our cowardly lips could not speak. Chapped, we crack tasteless jokes rationalizing cruelty for the sake of humor. We are falling stars from the sky and the night is turning pitch black. Ignorantly, we are watching them fall into the atmosphere unaware that we are trapped cold in the snow globe of catastrophe, carelessly confined comfortably in our own little worlds that are about to be shaken and flipped upside down. This is unsettling. Like the fault line about to fall away, the earthquake that turned grassland prairies into mountains. I can feel the vibrations of its rumble in the strings of my soul. And I'm sure you can too, if you intuitively listen to your spirit and resonate in response to its truth. As a species, humanity excels with superiority over the animal kingdom, yet we act like animals. Giving in to our urges without care or thought of consequence, we conquer for power and pleasure. We impulsively lie, cheat, and steal to obtain desires, not necessities. We act without thinking, but act as if we were thinking. But if this were true, then STDs wouldn't be multiplying exponentially. The disintegration of our ozone would have convinced us to go green decades ago, and a worldwide failing economy wouldn't threaten poverty with an even greater depression. I think we can do better. I think we can come together if we actually tried without prejudice, judgment, or spite. We need to unite. I know this message is not original or unique, but I believe repetition increases the chance that this time, it won't fall upon deaf ears. Let our actions, no matter how small they may seem, serve as a reminder that every ant leaves a scent of hope for the others to find their way home. We are stronger in numbers. Because it's going to take a collective effort to figure out how to pull the dents out of this wreckage and restore this vintage into showroom quality. Otherwise, I fear the alternative is a truth that most of us just aren't ready to accept.